Alright, so right now we are on our final video of the financial math series, and this is part 16, and we're going to be talking about missed payments. So this is also another deviation that tends to happen in financial math. So let's go ahead and read the instruction and answer the questions that follow. Now, Jane pays off a loan of 100,000 rands by means of 20 equal quarter payments, starting 1 year after the loan was taken out. Now, the interest rate is basically 15.2% per annum compounded quarterly. Now, this question is calculate Jane's quarterly payments. All right. So now here, to get Jane's quarterly payments, firstly, we need to look at what has happened. So here, Jane takes out the loan, right? And then this loan was going to be paid by means of 20 equal quarter payments, right? Starting 1 year after the loan has been taken out. Now, if you look at this 20 quarterly payments, you will notice that this is the value for n, and this was according to the agreement of the loan, right? If I divide this by quarterly by 4, right, it gives me an idea that here we had a 5-year period to finish this loan, right? So I'm just going to write that 5-year there. Now to calculate the quarterly payment, right, I need to first check what has happened here. So firstly, what happened was, yes, Jane took out the loan, got a loan of 100,000 rand, but then the first year, but then she wanted to pay after starting 1 year after the loan has been taken out. So now, which means now if I check from year 0 and then break this down into equal months or equal quarters, you will see that here this is going to be 4th quarter. Notice that on the 1st quarter there was no payment, on the 2nd quarter there was no payment, on the 3rd quarter there was no payment, but then the payment started on the 4th quarter. So this means this is where everything started paying, right? Paying. Now this was the loan, start of the loan, but then this is where Jane started to pay. So it means now the 1st quarter and the 2nd quarter and the 3rd quarter, the interest was charged there, right? Because there were no payments that were made. Okay, so which means now if I want to find Jane's quarterly payments, I must then first get my what? My new loan. Because it means now that 100,000 rand, it has grown. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to be using the compound interest. A equals to P into 1 plus I to the power of n. Now here P, it is the loan amount, 100,000 rands. And then n, it is the number of times the interest was charged. In this case, it is 3 times. I, it is 15.2% compounded quarterly. So I divide this by 4. So this means now the new loan, it is 100,000 rands into 1 plus 15.2% over 4 into 3. And then let's press this into our calculator. So pressing this into our calculator, we have 100,000 rands into 1 plus 15.2%. Divide this by 4, raise it to the power of 3, and that is going to be our new loan. So 111,838, it's 111,838, comma 69 cents. All right, then now from there we need to find now the payment, right? Because now this is the new loan. Now therefore, to find the payment, I'm going to use P equals to X into 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of minus n, right, over I, right? So in this case, P is the new loan, so it is that 111,838, 69 cents. And then the interest is still the same, but then now when it comes to n, we were expecting 20 payments, but then now we skipped the 3 payments. So it means now we have 17 payments that are left. So that is going to be the value for for n. All right, so now the interest, it doesn't change. It is 15.2% divided by 4. Now let's find x. So x, I'm going to isolate it here. First cross multiply I, you get x into 1 minus 1 plus I to the power minus n, and therefore I divide by everything that's next to x. That way I times p is divided by 1 plus I over minus n, sorry, to the power of minus n. And then now substituting this, it will give me the value for a. So I have 15.2% divided quarterly multiplied by 111,838,69, and then to 1 minus 1 plus 15.2% percent compounded quarterly to the power of negative 17. And that is going to be my monthly installment, which is going to be 9,050 rand, comma 96 cents. 96 cents. All right. Okay. So now let's go into our second question. So the second question, it says let's calculate the outstanding balance after the 11th payment, right? So now again, if you remember previous video, we said the outstanding balance, it is the compound of m minus the future value, 1 plus I into n minus 1 over I. And then we said that m and n, they differ. Now m, it is the number of times the interest has been charged, and then n, it is the number of payments that have been made. Now here we want to find the outstanding balance after the 11th payment, which means n is 11, and then now we need to check how many times is the interest being charged, right? Now to get that, we take our 11 and then we check the number of times it was also charged. So we remember in the previous question, we said 3 payments were, well, the 3 quarters were missed, right? Then you started a year after, which means that interest was already being charged, right? So it means this is 3. So 11 plus 3, it gives me 14, right? And then now P is the loan. So it is 111,838,69, and then the interest doesn't change, 15.2% compounded quarterly. So let's go ahead and find our outstanding balance. So therefore the outstanding balance, it is going to be 111,838,69 69 into 1 plus 15% or 15.2% divided by 4 to the power of 14 minus, let me see if I can squeeze this through here, x is 9,050,96 cents into 1 plus 15.2%. All right, let me just remove this because now I know what are my values. Just want to make sure that I have all of this value. We said 96 here into 1 plus 15.2% compounded quarterly into, now the number of times the payments have been made is 11, so which means I'm going to put 11 there, minus 1, all divided by 15.2% over 4. Now pressing this into our calculator, it gives us 111,838,69 into 1 plus 15.2% over 4 to the power of 14 minus fraction 9050,96 into 1 plus 15.2% over 4 to the power of 11 minus 1 over 15.2% over 4. Now this gives us the outstanding balance of let me see that again, 67,712 rand, comma 45 cents. All right, so now we're going to be going into our final question, which is the missing payment. All right, so the next question, question C, it goes as follows. What is her new monthly payment if she misses the 12th, 13th, and the 14th payments, right? But still wants to pay off the loan in the same amount of time. All right, so now here, I want to find now the new payment, right? After she misses the 12th, 13th, and 14th. Now remember, payments and interest charge are not the same, so you need to be very careful when it comes to that one. All right, so now currently this is the outstanding balance. Question C, the current balance is 67,712 rand, 45 cents. Now mind you, this is after the 11th payment, right? Because that's what the last question said. So now if you miss 12, 13, and 14, right? You're missing now 12, 13, and 14, which means now an interest is going to be charged again, right? So now to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to use again a compound interest, and then when I raise it into that, basically that's a formula for the compound interest. And then remember the P is going to be the outstanding balance, 712.45, and then N it is going to be 3 because you missed 3 payments. You missed the 12th, 13th, and the 14th, but this person still wants to pay off the loan in the same amount of time. Which time? The 12 and the 20 equal quarter payments. All right, so now here what we're going to do is we're going to calculate now the balance, because remember, every time when you miss a payment you get a charge of an interest, right? So now that charge of this interest, in this case it is going to be that. So we're going to calculate the same thing, but then now N it is going to be 3, and then we're going to find our value. All right, to find our value, it is going to be 67,712.45 into 1 plus 15.2% divided by 4 to the power of 3, and then we get how much now? 75,728, 75,728, comma 72 cent. 32 cent. All right, now how many payments are left now? Because right now we want to calculate now the new monthly installment. So to get the new monthly installment, we know that now this person comes back into paying back the loan on the 15th payment. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So which means those are what? Those are 6 payments that are left, right? So which means now we need to find our new installment using that. So now the current loan now it is 75,728 rand, 72 cents, and the interest it is still 15.2% compounded quarterly, and we're gonna find what is X. All right, so now to do that, now P it is going to be X into 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of minus N over I. And then I cross multiply I get X into 1 minus 1 plus I minus N, and therefore I divide so that X is I times P over 1 minus 1 plus I into the minus N. And then now I substitute. So I have 15.2% over 4 multiplied by 75,728 rand, comma 72 cent, and then all of this is divided by 1 minus 1 plus 15.2% over 4 to the power of minus 6. And so x, it is equals to 15.2% divided by 4 multiplied by 75,728 rand, 72 cents over 1 minus 1 plus 15.2% over 4 to the power of minus 6, and it becomes 14,352 rand, comma 23 cents, and that is how we find our final answer. And that's it for this video. Thank you so much, and this is the end of the financial math series. I'd like to thank you for watching all of the parts. If you've missed other parts, please go back and watch all of them, because I've did this in a way that will actually build you up from a beginner level of financial maths into an advanced level of maths understanding. And I'm going to see you into the next part series, and in that one I'm going to be basically breaking down how we can answer all the probability questions, and I want to see you into that one. Cheers.